What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MUT 19 video. We're going to be focusing on training points once again in today's video. We got tomorrow coming up. There's a lot of the blitz players like Deion Sanders, Zeke Elliott, Tyreek Hill, guys that are going to be able to be powered up. And we made a video about this last week, but I wanted to kind of follow up on it, take a look at some different values. If you guys were trying to power these cards up, I'm going to try to give you the keys to get the best, cheapest training points on the market right now. But I'll be real with you, if you weren't buying up training points during the blitz solo, you're going to be losing just a little bit, I went through all of the cards and all the values and all the current auction house prices, and I found the best rates for you guys. You can use this as a guide if you want to power up some cards. So let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. There's a bunch of cards that are going to be able to be powered up. So cards like Deion Sanders is one of them. And right now, if we go over to our binder, this is one that I've been hanging on to. I might be jumping all over the place on this video, so apologies if I do, because there's a lot of things I want to kind of try to cover. So we take Deion Sanders here, right? We're going to go ahead and try to upgrade him. And as you can see, to power him up to a 96 overall, we need his card. And so if we search the auctions, we're going to take a look and see that it's selling right now for, I think, slightly under 700K. Let's see if it ever loads up anytime now. I'm trying to do a video here. Come on, EA. Work with me. Work with me.
A few moments later.
Deion Sanders currently selling for slightly under 700K. So if you're going to go the power-up route like myself and you still have this card in your possession, you probably really want to like sell it ASAP. I sold mine a couple days ago. I've just been rocking out with the 94 Deion for now until this happens, because I imagine that prices on cards like this and Zeke and Tyreek Hill and others is going to tank. It's going to go down a lot. So the big question is, how much is it going to power? How much is it going to take to power up Deion Sanders? You're basically getting a 96 overall. So I'm honestly unsure. I guess the best measure that we can take here is if I go to my Jordan Hicks, who recently was available for power up. Where is he? Here he is. He's recently available for a power up. As of today, you can get him to a 95. And the cost on that one is 11,800 training points to get him to a 95. So one would think, and I believe, let's see if I don't think I can find a 94 to kind of guess. So one would think, I guess my guess or estimation is it's going to be somewhere between like 13 and 14,000 training points to go ahead and power up Deion Sanders to a 96. Again, we'll finally have those values tomorrow. A guy like Tyreek Hill is going to be another one. I already have powered up, but what I may do in this situation is power this card down. It costs me 7,000 coins to do so, and then we're going to be able to go ahead and sell him, and I think he sells for right now like 380K or 280K? I think it's high 200s. Is it high to? I don't feel like looking it up right now. You guys could probably tell me better than I. Pretty sure it's high 200K. Anyway, my point is I can sell this Tyreek Hill, and then I can go ahead and power him up. Now, the values that we're going to be shooting for is about 45 coins per training point. So if we take Tyreek Hill, I, again, off the top of my head, don't know what it costs to power up a 94, but I think it's somewhere around like 10,000 training points. If we take 10,000 training points and we multiply, well, if we multiply 45 coins per training point for 10,000 training points, it's roughly about 450K. So in Tyreek Hill's situation, and again, I'm going to have to wait for the values to come out tomorrow, it may be cheaper to buy his card rather than a powered up. But again, that 10,000 number I'm just pulling out of the air. It could be a lot less. But in Deion Sanders' case, I think it's going to be cheaper to power up, and I'll show you why. So let's jump on over to the auction house and go over basically the your best options to buy a training point. You can see I'm sitting here on, I think, like a little over 16,000. At one point last week, I had 35,000 training points. I've been slowly powering up items and adding some abilities to different things. I'm going to drop at some point, maybe even tomorrow, a 35 because I'm kind of waiting for the Deion to be part of that video, a 35,000 training point spending spree video, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll show you guys a team update. Lots and lots of changes have been to my team. You guys probably could have saw the majority of my really good cards there on that last screen. Alright, let's go. I'm rambling too much. Let's go to the auction house. So, I've always told you guys, anything under an 88 overall is absolutely not worth it as far as training points go, but there is a change to my advice here now. 81 overalls, and you gotta have a little bit of patience, but if you can go through 80 overalls and you can find them for about you sort by 80 to 81, but we're really looking for 81 overall only. I pretty much go to 80, 81, and then I sort through each team. Honestly, this is not really the best method, but it is a method if you don't have a ton of coins to work with. Basically, you want to shoot for about 4,000 coins on 81, so this is still too expensive. If you can buy an 81 at 4,000 coins, that's going to equal basically about 42 coins per training point. At this point, with the current market, 45 and under is good. 42 is really good. And how do we get to that method? I will show you guys in a little while as far as how I calculate that. I do it in all of these training point videos, so hopefully by now you know. But 80 overalls in this situation, not good at all. I did the math. The only thing, again, that I'm going to recommend is 81 overalls, 4K and under. If you can do it, it's perfect. If you can find them. I found a Derwin James right before I started recording this video for 3.5K. Really, really good value. So 82 through 87, no value at all. I checked all of them. They're just not worth it. But 88s and under... I'm sorry, 88s and above are pretty good. 88s actually themselves aren't great at all. So 88 overalls give you 1,100 training points. When I do this, I just like to sort through offense and defense. That usually finds the cheapest options out there. To get a card for about 45 coins per training point, that's the value we're shooting for. You have to buy 88s at 50K or under. So right now, that's the only thing. I would not buy anything under 50K and under. Now, you may have to be patient, but there you go. There's basically one right there that you can get. This would give you 45 coins per training point. And then again, we'll talk about what 45 coins per training point means when it comes to Deion Sanders. 89 overalls, you want to shoot for about 70K. 89 overalls are definitely a better option than 88 overalls. Let's see if we can find any here for 89, 89, 89. Where are you? So 72K right there. That's actually not a bad buy. I would say shoot for 70K because 70K gives you about 43 coins per training point. So how do we get this formula? What we're going to do is we're going to take the amount that we're spending. So if we were going to buy this Willie McGinnis, we would take 72,950 coins. Alright, got it so far. We would divide it by the number of training points an 89 overall gives you, which is 1,600, so 1,600. Got it, and then we're going to hit the equals button, and that gives us 45.59 coins per training point. We're shooting for 45 and under, so I would hold off on this. As I mentioned, the target range that I would shoot for, that I saw a lot of as I was preparing this video, is about 70K. So you can be patient, guys. You don't have to buy the first ones you see. And if you want to shoot under 70K, go for it. I mean, you might have a good chance. So here, offense, you know, there's a Jeremy Shockey. So this one's actually better. We go 68, 750. We're going to divide that by... I always forget these values. By 1,600, that gives us 42.96 coins per training point. That's good value. Now, with the Blitz promo, it was under 40 coins per training point. You guys really missed it if you didn't take advantage of that. Sorry, but I'm going to try to help you. So, 90 overalls, you want to shoot for about 100K. I saw a few 95K as I was preparing this video, so... 100 seems to be kind of like right there. I think if you're patient enough, you can find under 100K. 91 overalls, I think, are probably going to be your best value out of all the cards that I've mentioned. 91 overalls, if you can get them for about 135K, that equals 42 coins per training point as well. And there's a 145, 142. LaDainian Tomlinson seems to be popping up a lot. Phillip Rivers, I think, was one that you might see often, the Football Outsiders. Defense, I can't think of any. Okay, so there's a Janorius Jenkins for 135K. This would give you the 42 coins per training point. It might be slightly above it because this one's closer to like 136K. As we get higher, this is more so for people who have a lot of coins to spend, but if you are buying in bulk, this is not a bad idea. because especially if you're going after Deion, you're going to need a lot of training points. We don't know how much, but I estimate anywhere between 13,000 and 15,000. This is where you're going to be buying in bulk. This is like Sam's Club. This is like, damn, didn't Sam's Club get closed like all around? Rest in peace. This is like BJ's Wholesale. This is like Costco. 92 overalls give you 45,000 training points. You want to shoot for about 200k. So 199, 250 is good. 200k equals 44 coins per training point. So we have discussed that you can probably do better. But if you're buying in bulk, I mean, you might be able to find one of these for like 195. And the higher cards are starting to become less expensive. This is where you really were able to take advantage of the Blitz promo. These cards tanked. I'm talking like 180, 170 at some point. 93s give you 6,400 training points. You're shooting for about 280k on those. Let's see if we can find any. When the Harvest Bundle dropped and all of these 93 Harvest Master cards or Harvest Key cards, whatever the hell they were called, when those were in bundles, they were like 260k, super cheap. Myles Garrett, 284k, isn't too bad. And another thing you might be able to take advantage of is Zeke Elliott. Tomorrow, when his card becomes upgradable through training points, people might start undercutting each other, selling his 93 card, and that could be a good point here, like where you might see this price drop down from 270 down to like 260, 250. If you see that and you need training points, buy it, because remember, 280k is a good buy for 93s. This one's at 270k right now, so if we take 270, 450, we're going to divide it by 93s, give you 6,400 training points. That's 42.25 coins per training point. Really, really good value there. And again, when people start undercutting for Zeke tomorrow, you might be able to get even cheaper. Last is 94 overalls. They give you 9,000 coins. I'm sorry, 9,000 training points. 400k and under, and this is going to be really tough to do. When the Fire Fantasy Packs came out, this Keyshawn was selling for well under 400, so at that point you probably could have got lucky, but right now there's just not a lot of 94s on the auction house, so I just wanted to show you this one. But these are if you're really buying in bulk, so just nothing good there for right now. So we're just going to finish it up by saying, how much is Deion going to cost? Well, I did the math, and again, this is at an average of 45 coins per training point. If he costs 15,000 training points, that's basically the equivalent about 675k. Still cheaper than what he's selling on the auction house right now at this moment. But you kind of lose that ability to sell him later if you power him up through training points. But Deion's probably going to be one of the best cards in the game all year round, so a card like this, it doesn't hurt to just keep and power up all year, in my opinion. If he's about 14,000 training points at 45 coins per training point, that means he would cost you about 630k. I think that's a good deal for that card. And then lastly, and this is what I'm expecting, but I could be wrong, I think he's going to be somewhere around 13,000 training points. If so, and I don't think it'll be even 13,000, but at 13,000 training points times 45 coins per training point, that means Deion's cost is about 585k, which if you can get 96 overall Deion for 585k, again, you had to have powered him up to the point right now, so it's obviously cost you a little more than that, but at the moment, 585k for Deion, really good. If you guys got any questions, I know I talk fast sometimes and I'm shouting numbers left and right, and my apologies for that. But I want to get the content and the information out to you as fast as possible. Let me know down below in the comment section. Always feel free to come through to my Twitch. I stream like 5 nights a week, so if you ever have questions, it's the best way to interact with me. I try to pay attention to the chat the best that I can and answer all the questions you guys might have. Shout outs to everybody who comes through the chat. Salutes to you guys. My name is Popular Stranger. One more salute because I'm out. Peace.